All right, all right. Well, I got to further explain the post I made about these false prophet type brothers that got these YouTube pages that's purposely misleading black folks. All right? And I told people it's almost like y'all purposely getting indoctrinated by these guys. A lot of these brothers perpetuate self-hate disguised as good information that can progress you through your life as an African American in America. Fake woke are misleading the fake woke because these dudes smart enough to understand the stuff that they saying is cultish and misleading. But I'm gonna tell y'all where they got all this from and how it started and where they trying to bring y'all to. Hold on one second. Gotta put the coconut water in me. Let's go. This is how I go down, bro. These brothers figured out what people like Rush Limbaugh and Bill O'Reilly figured out a long time ago. Most of that stuff, not most stuff, some of that stuff, Bill O'Reilly and Rush Limbaugh tell these so-called white conservatives and this mob of racist white people, not the cool white people, the racist ones, they feed their fantasies. So Bill O'Reilly, people like Rush Limbaugh figured out how to get rich off of just feeding people fantasies of how the world's supposed to be and what they think is right? So they always gonna have a group of people with a certain ideology. And the only thing you do is pretend to be sympathetic to their needs. And then they're gonna eventually, once you get their ear, then you start asking them for money. It's almost like a pyramid scheme, kind of like religion, right? So I'm getting off Bill O'Reilly and Rush Limbaugh because, like I always say, my advice go to young black males. I've never existed as a white person in America. So I would never try and tell white people how to conduct themselves or how to raise their families or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, white people straight, all right? They're in this country. Even if they're doing bad, they're doing good, right? And the things they do is not necessarily a matter of life or death. The things that black men do can be a matter of life and death. The most minute things, like driving a car or selling CDs outside of a gas station or whatever, could lead to a death sentence. That's why I particularly target black people in my writings and my videos, because black men are being misled because a lot of young black dudes don't have positive black influences in their life. And the ones they look up to, leading them into slaughter. But the game is deep, right? The game real deep. So I try and dissect it for some that listen. Now, let me explain to you about how these new black dudes starting to do what people like Rush Limbaugh do to white people, right? So these dudes will get these pages, start preaching all this don't vote rhetoric, your vote not gonna count stuff. They almost pro-Trump, you know what I'm saying? They were almost pro-Trump during the election season. So now Trump lost. They mad. Every other post is Kamala Harris date a white man. Married to a white man. How she voiced black people. All this old crazy stuff. They find these crazy angles to go at with black people. None of the stuff they telling black people gonna help them or free them or give them economic security or nothing. It's just gonna lead to even more confusion. But what they try and do is cater to people that's confused, that's looking for answers. Because a lot of people looking for answers. But the answer's already out there. The only thing you gotta do is just listen to leaders from the past like Malcolm X. And I'm gonna just stop right there. Just start at Malcolm X and dissect his whole life. He was an intelligent student, then he was marginalized in America, then he led to a life of crime, then he ended up in jail, then he ended up finding the Nation of Islam through his brothers and sisters who was a part of the Nation of Islam, to finding out the Nation of Islam is just a Muslim religion that's not like the real Muslim religion. The Nation of Islam was teaching hate white people and stuff like that. And it was teaching good health and wealth stuff too. But you can't take the Muslim religion, then take it to America, then remix it into some other only blacks club type religion, and not tell the people that follow you that this is not the true way this religion is practiced. Then Malcolm found out that the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad, he was preaching one thing and living another way. And he was inventing new ways to be a Muslim, like excluding white people and a white man is the devil and all this stuff. Like, it remixed it, man. And I ain't trying to be mean to the Nation of Islam, because that's a hustle in itself. Because one person was like, Louis Farrakhan be misleading people, whatever. I don't care about what Louis Farrakhan do. The stuff what Louis Farrakhan do not gonna lead to you getting killed. Just think about it. The Muslims in this country, they eat good, they healthy. They always be they don't talk about that no more, because that was a fantasy Elijah Muhammad was selling, an independent black state within the United States. Just think how crazy that sounds, like as if this government gonna let us have an independent state within the state. But anyway, and why would you want to be surrounded by your so-called enemy? But so they sold that independent black state thing for so long, now they don't even be on that. But at the end of the day, all the stuff that Louis Farrakhan is teaching gonna lead to you having a healthy family, a healthy body, and a functioning relationship with the people around you, right? In your environment. It's not gonna lead to you being misled and don't have a way to feed yourself and raise your family. So it's some pyramid scheme and they get paid off it, but you don't die from it. But these new brothers, man, they playing with y'all, bro. Y'all gotta listen to these dudes. Do your research on these dudes. Look at their pages, look at their lineage. Try and find out their past, their criminal records. Not saying a criminal can't be reformed, but y'all gotta find out who these people is y'all listening to. You know what I'm saying? Like Tariq Nasheed. Yeah, he made a bunch of good documentaries that was basically 10 black uplifting books compiled into one documentary and called The Hidden Colors. But the Hidden Colors thing been done already by Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby done a documentary about black people and all their achievements in America and their achievements in Africa back in the early 70s. I think it was the 60s or 70s, like 71 or something. Bill Cosby did an in-depth black empowerment documentary film. And I forgot the name of it. I forgot the name of this Bill Cosby documentary. But it was amazing, right? So Tariq Nasheed do that. And then he joined another group. Then he tried to tear their group down. And every black man that try and lead other black people, he tear them down, say evil stuff about them. The dude hate black women. He say mean things about black women all the time. He a comedian, he a singer, he was a player. He been all kind of things. But for the most part, the dude intelligent and very manipulative. And it always be about him getting his audience so he can monetize off them. Most of these dudes just trying to bring y'all all in so they can sell y'all some sage, some tea, and some t-shirts and get donations. They don't really care about y'all. They don't care about bringing clarity to y'all life as a black person. They just misleading y'all. And then they got some good, righteous brothers too. You know what I'm saying? But I would always say Malcolm X the best one, because once he found out the religion that was being drilled in his head, the religion that he helped build, Malcolm X, he the one came up with that get on the corner and preach and recruit people to come into the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam, I don't know how many people they had in the Nation of Islam when Malcolm got there. Maybe 500 or something. It wasn't that many. Then he grew it to like almost 100,000 or something. He brought in tens of thousands of people. Then when Malcolm X left, half the people left when he left the Nation of Islam. Because he found out Elijah Muhammad just was getting paid, man, off all the mosques. It just was like the Catholics do it. They set up churches, places. They the priests or whoever running the church, they ask for tithes, they ask for money. That money go to the Vatican, and then the Pope be rich. It's a big pyramid scheme, a lot of these things. So now, young black dudes, most of them be like in their 30s and stuff. They have a touch of a male chauvinist in them. They They be clicking out on black women sometimes, like really going in, man. At the end of the day, no matter the good or bad I didn't experience in relationships with sisters, I'm not coming on it. You don't never hear me coming on here. Man, black people, women this, I give up on them and all that, or whoever. What is that about, man? A lot of these brothers really hurting. I don't think they've been raised by their mother properly. I think their daddies abandoned them. And they come on these internet and these platforms and recruit other people that's hurt and mislead them and misguide them. And at the end of the conversation, cash at me, drop a little money in, So they just hustling the game. And I was saying, I'm gonna wrap it up, but I'll say this. Back in the day, a lot of black people didn't know they was being misled, right? And a lot of it was through religion. I ain't knocking religion. And at the end of the day, the way they was being misled wasn't necessarily a matter of life and death. It was more so a matter of, are you gonna be truly free and learn how to economically free yourself from the bondage of segregation and slavery and stuff like that, right? Because, they had a flawed version of the Bible that was teaching them to obey your earthly master, which was the white man. But they didn't know better because all the information they had was like right in, they couldn't go to the internet and get people from different walks of life to educate them. Nowadays, people are willfully ignorant because they just want to follow people that have the same ideology and stroke their ego and try and say, yeah, the way you live, the way you thinking is right. The way a lot of people living ain't right. The way a lot of people living in the hood ain't right. They had us selling drugs to each other, killing each other, putting it in our music and telling each other it's cool. And the person who know how to do it the best is the king. He the man. And they still perpetuating that dumb shit. They still glamorizing a 5-year stretch where crack was booming and the money was coming in. Now it left 30 years of destruction. They still glamorizing them left 5 little years. You know what I'm saying? You don't see Italians rapping about prohibition. No, they moved away from selling illegal drink and liquor and stuff. I mean, some still do it, but they moved away from it and they got lawyers, doctors, and they went into America. But long story short, a lot of these brothers are purposely misleading black men because a lot of black men looking for a father figure and looking for, damn, it's raining, looking for somebody to answer these questions, man. Man, study Malcolm. Study a lot of leaders that came before, and even the ones who giving y'all all this information. That self-hate disguised as black empowerment. Study the people who's hustling you, bro. Just listen to it and learn how to be man enough to find the truth, admit that you was following the wrong person, and progress your life and learn from those lessons. Like Malcolm X, when he found out he was being misled by Elijah Muhammad, he sucked it up. And he went forward in life. And then they killed him once he got knowledge of self. I'ma holler at y'all, man. Y'all be blessed.